Hi everybody, it's me and Serbs. He's doing his rolling on his back thing. I forget what we call that. He's got all four in the air. He is scratching that back. How are you guys doing? Welcome back to the She Shed. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of October, 2024. I'm so happy you are here. I know that I have new subscribers, so I've been giving little explanations of what I do here, and really you never know what you're gonna find. I am pretty eclectic, let's put it that way. I do a lot of different crafts, and I basically have two sides of the She Shed. I have kind of the yarny side, and on the other side I have kind of everything else. I also have a little area over here where I do diamond painting. I do art, and the art is new. I'm getting into the art. I haven't done a lot of it. It's very new to me. It's a new outlet for me, creatively. So, bless you. So, I am wearing the Reverde wrap. This is a crochet version. There are two versions, the crochet and the knit. I do mean to go back and do the knit version. I did this as a participation in a make-along with Gina at the Knitting Turnpike, and with Judy, and I can't remember, I think it's Judy's Crochet Creations. She's in Canada. I never can remember her full channel name, but I will put both of those channels and a link to this. I made it with yarn from Donna at Crystal Skies Hand Dyed, and then I used this one, which was a Yarn Bee Spun Gold or something like that. It was the Yarn Bee hand dyed yarn, and then this one is a yarn by the Suburban Stitcher, and she is out of Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth area. But it's a very pretty pattern. I did mine a little strangely for some reason. I have a different, it's supposed to be on the bias, and I'm not great at bias stuff. I keep trying and I keep practicing, but that end is just, you can tell it's a little longer and wider and so on. This one, doing great, doing that bias thing pretty good. Then we get over to here and something just isn't, I don't know. It's just a little skewed for me. But that goes along with my personality. I'm also a little skewed, and I hope that's okay with y'all. If anything I talked about interests you, I hope that you will hit the like button and the subscribe button and stick around and come back and hang out with me, because that is really why I do this, where I face forward and talk to y'all, because I like talking to y'all, and there are days when I just really need it, and today's one of those days. So I'm going to start off with, I'm not going to show you any of my other crafts at this moment. Today we're going to talk about my knitting and my crochet. So I have a commission or two that I'm trying to get finished, so it's kind of dictating some of what I do. So yeah, no. My necklace I showed this on my live the other day. This is the one I got at the Salvation Army the other day, and I really like it. It's very lightweight, so I am wearing it. Okay, let's start with a couple of knits and show you some finishes. Now, I'm not going to do any of the editing stuff. I'm just going to stick them together, put a front and back, and we're good to go. I did another knit hat, and I don't remember whether I showed you this or not, but I did the top on this one just a little bit different than I did the other one. On this one, I started with the other color. The one I showed you before, I started with the teal. This yarn is the Big Twist Reverb from Joann's. And it's called Teal Blue Pink. And there's no teal in it. There's no blue in it. And the pink is just barely pink. It's more of a rose color, more of a rose or a mauve color. There's a little bit of pink. But I think the reason that these did not last, and I think the reason was they got labeled wrong, because I had other ones here in my stash and the names matched a name from, would have been a better match for, say, this one or one of the other colors. So they were really not named correctly. But I like the yarn, and this is what I have left. It is amazing to me that I made 2 crochet hats and 2 knit hats, and I still have this little bit left. Here's what I plan to do. The other color that I used was this Big Twist Rave. Now I only have a couple of these colors, and I can't remember if they are continuing to make this one or not. But I also have the bright pink or corally color that I'm going to be using in something else. Well, my plan is to make a cowl in this color, and then I will do some of this here like I did, and just do a round or 2 of this on the cowl somewhere in the center, and then it will be a matching set. So that's my plan with that, and it'll be knit. Now what I did different here on the top is I did my normal decrease, but when I got to the very top, instead of continuing with the decreases and coming down to the 8 stitches, usually I have only 2 or 3 stitches on any of the needles. I went ahead and stopped at like 4 or 5 stitches and just pulled it together. And I like the way that looks, because typically when I do all the way to the top, because you do a round of decreases and then you do a round of knit, typically when I do that, it'll have like a tit on the top, a little point, and this kind of eliminated that. And I'm loving the way that the starbursty thing came out. So I really like it. So these are a 4-weight, this one and this one, but they're more of an Aran. In reality, the thickness of them is more of an Aran, and they are what most people call a roving. So they were a good match to use for this. So yeah, out of that 311 yards, I am going to get 5 projects with this one here, and 3 projects with this one. You gonna go lay down, Bubby? Okay. Okay, that's that one. The cowl may take a while, so don't be looking for it too soon. We shall see. It's just something I'm going to do in the future. It'll get set aside, and I will get to it when I get to it. The other thing that I knit is this. It's ready to go. I got it finished. This is the Floozie sweater that I've been working on as a commission. The last one I did, if you remember, was a gray one. This one is the cream color. This thing is so soft and so luscious. So it is done and it is ready to be put together. That's all I have to do on that. And the yarn for that one, this is what I have left of this skein. It's the Parfait Chunky, and it's considered a 6 weight, but it's working up as a 5. And that is what I'm using for that sweater. The next one, once I get this put together, I will get another one on the needles. I may even do that before I get it put together, but it's going to be in the purple color. Then I have one other knit project that I've been working on. It is just started. This is a knit hat. I'm just almost done with the ribbing now on this one. It'll be real fun to see what this looks like when it's worked up. This yarn is the One Hat Wonder. This is the one that I got at Ollie's. It's the Sesame Street One Hat Wonder. And I got it for $2.99 at Ollie's. And this is the Abby Cadabby. Here is her little head. And I am holding that in my bag from Queen's Crafts by Bridget, the Tattooed Ladies. And I have this little sock size, and then I also have the little cake, the ball, I call it a ball sack, and it's holding my little ball of yarn in it. So this is one that I'm doing in between. I want to do all of them and have all of the hats from the Sesame Street that I have. I'm making them all into hats. So that's the other knit one that I got going. Okay, y'all, I finally started on a project that I have had in my stash forever, that I have been wanting to do forever. And I'm like, that's it. Do something you want to do for you. Not that I'm not doing this stuff for me and not enjoying it. I'm enjoying everything I'm working on right now. I do have both air conditioners on because we're in the 90s today. And I noticed when I went to fix my hair that I am red in the face, and I don't know where that came from. I'm still trying to chase down, the doctors and we're still trying to chase down an autoimmune response that I am having, so don't really know if that's part of that or what's going on. But you can see it's like I'm angry, and I'm not angry. I'm fine, but it is warm, so you may hear the air conditioners. I have had, I don't even know how long I've had this. Does it have a date on it? Yeah, it does. June of 2014. It is the Mary Maxim Kit called the Cradle Purse. Now I know you guys see this in the catalog, and this is what it looks like in the picture. And I finally made it. Here is the kit. I have one more baby in here, and I have plenty of yarn to make another one for this other little baby. And let me show you what mine looks like. Here's what mine looks like. So this would be the bottom of the cradle, and then it turns into a purse, and you open it and you turn down the bed, and there's a blanket, and then there's the little baby, and she's wearing a dress, and there's a little bit of assembly required here, so you have to kind of pull the cradle top up. And what I'm noticing about mine is that my doll does not quite fit. So somehow, and I did this according to pattern, but somehow it seems a little tight. And I don't know, it won't matter that much. It's not too bad. But it really should come, you know, this really should come over more, and it should be a little bit longer, because she's just almost not fitting up underneath the hood of that cradle. You have to kind of work at getting her in there. But it's so super cute. I also had to do something a little bit different, and I don't know, I will work on this before I put the cord here together, the handle, but I had to go outside and inside on one of the loops here in order to get this to be able to close. In other words, I could put them both through, but then I'd have it sitting. It just did not work out with enough loops. I should have had one more loop, because I couldn't close it and have it not do that. But that's no big deal. I don't think nobody's gonna know that it wasn't designed that way. And I don't, like in the picture, it does not show like mine, how my cradle is sticking out here. It doesn't show that on this one, if you see what I mean. On this one, you just see this. So I'm definitely going to make it again. And you have to kind of tuck the little blanket down in there as which I think is a great thing to have, because that means she can lay on the little blanket when she's not, you know, like she's getting tummy time. But I love it. And I have some more babies that are bigger than this. They're like twice the size of this one. And so I want to adapt this pattern and make it bigger so that I can fit those babies in them, and use my own colors, and do some in boy colors too. You know, like even if it wasn't for a girl, it could be a boy baby instead of a girl baby. And I think that I will probably make clothes. I'll have to figure out how to make some little clothes that'll be a little shirt and pants for a boy. Maybe shorts. I'll probably do a little pair of shorts and a little shirt for a boy. But yeah. It says the size is 4.5 by 8. So 4.5 by 8. I want to say that the doll is a 4.5-inch doll. I want to say that's right, but I'm not positive either. So I finally finally did that, and I'm very happy with this kit. Very happy with this kit. The instructions were great. I didn't have any problems understanding the instructions. There's nothing about the kit that turned out odd, and I love both of these yarns. Both of these yarns are really nice. This is the Mary Maxim Starlet yarn. It is a 4-weight baby yarn, technically, but it can be used. Most of the colors are baby colors, but there are several colors in this. They also make it in a twinkle, which is a sparkle. But you can use the Starlet yarn for any project. It doesn't have to be a baby. And I guess it's technically not a baby yarn because it's a 4-weight. But the colors are a lot of pastels and stuff. But go check it out, you know, online. Don't trust the catalog to be showing you all of the colors because there's a lot more of them online. And then this one is a baby yarn. This is their Baby's Best, Mary Maxim Baby's Best. And this one is a number 2-weight yarn. Now, you know, I bought some of that bunny yarn recently at Hobby Lobby. This is a much better value. It is a really nice yarn. The bunny yarn is a little bit kind of shiny and slick, whereas this one is a soft, more fuzzy, you know, soft, regular yarn. And the price on these two yarn, the price point on these is so much better than anywhere else. That's not saying you can't get yarn on sale for a cheaper price, but for what you're getting, it's a really good deal. And I don't remember how much the kit itself was. You'd have to look. They're still, like I said, they're still in the Mary Maxim catalog. So if you've ever wanted to purchase this, do it. You will like it. You would definitely like that one. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the project I'm doing with Shannon over at the Junkie Channel. We are doing a member blanket where each of us is picking a color and picking a stitch. And Shannon chose the purple and half doubles for the first section. I chose cream and V-stitch for the second. Tina Lanou chose turquoise and extended single crochets for the third section. Our fourth section is going to be the lemon peel, and I can't remember the color. I've been trying to remember and I can't remember. I didn't write it down, but we don't start that until Sunday. She does her members lives on Sunday afternoon. That turquoise color, this is what I used for it. This is a Suburban Stitcher, and the color is called Frost. And yes, you can see I have a lot of teals and turquoises, but I wanted to go with something softer on this one. I just really like that soft up against that cream. So I'm really enjoying doing that. Okay, now I gotta get something to drink, and I gotta move my foot. Oh, here's that tag. Yeah, I brought that tag over here. Suburban Stitcher, she's here out of Fort Worth. Her merino DK, and it's called Frost. Using some stash, y'all. Okay. Oops, drank all my coffee. I have to get some more coffee. All right. As you can see behind me, you know, I have this project here that I finished last week. This is the Yarn Bee little yarn holder with the hole in the center, and it zips in here and you can carry it around with you. And I'm using it to hold the yarn for this project, and that is, I love this yarn in sparkle white. It's got this silver sparkle in it. This is what I have in here, and I have this one, I think is 252, I think, if it's the same. 251. Yep. Some things I remember these days and some things I don't. So what am I doing? Where is the, there it is. It's in the chair where I put it. So this behind me, if you remember, is the shawl that I made from this pull-off from Hobby Lobby. And that one back there was made with the Michaels yarn. I still want to go back and get some more of that yarn. I love that yarn. That's their Merino Luxe. Wonderful yarn. But this is what the pull-off looks like. Now you can find the patterns on Hobby Lobby's website. I know a couple more of you are making this. This was a very fun make, and I couldn't wait to finish that. Once I started and went with it, that's all I wanted to work on was that. So that's that one. Now it doesn't have a name, okay? But you just have to go and look. So I said, well, now I want to do the shawl, that's the scarf that's in here. This is the scarf. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to do the color scheme that they had going on, because it has, I don't know if there's any more close pictures than that one. Well, there's this one where it's kind of laid out. You'll be able to see how it's laid out there, and it has those puff stitches in there, and then around the outside it has that same yarn that they used for the puff stitch, they used around the outside, and they used another contrasting color with it, that yellow. So it's like yellow and gray and white. I decided to use the white, and then I wanted to, when I saw the scarf after finishing this one, and I had used this blue yarn, this blue fuzzy yarn, I wanted to see what it would look like in the scarf. So that's what I'm going to use for those puff stitches that are right here. I'm going to use that same fuzzy yarn that I used in that one, and it's the Woolies Air. I love this stuff. This stuff is nice. It doesn't fly everywhere. It doesn't, like, I mean, it does come off, but when I'm working with it, it stays with it. It's not super sheddy, not like some of them. It does shed. It's considered a 6, but again, for me, it works up more like a 5. And then the other color that I'm going to use, I don't anymore know what this color is. I don't have the tag for it. I searched, I got it out of off the wall I can't find a tag, but this is what I'm going to use with it. So once I finish, it will have this, and then it will have this on the outside, and then this will be the puff stitches. And I've started the decreases. So here is this is pretty well the center. And what I did not realize about this scarf is that it curves. You see that? It curves on the outside a little bit, and then it's fairly straight along this edge until you get up here, and now this edge is kind of curving that way. So that's fun. So now this edge is going to curve, and this edge is going to start to be more straight. And then ever so often you make these holes. All right, so I thought it was going to be more like you just switch the yarns back and forth, but it's not. You finish the whole thing, and then you go back with the other yarn and make the puff stitches in those holes. So that's something I've never done before. And you pick up, from my understanding of reading the pattern ahead, is you pick up the stitches in the center of the hole and you make your puff stitch. So yeah. And it's going to be, since it's about halfway, it's going to be a fairly long piece. So that's nice. I am looking so forward to seeing how all of this plays out together. It's going to be another really pretty piece, I think. So that's everything that I have been working on. I have some other things. I have a couple of things that I need to start. Like I need to start the next sweater. I need to start my Halloween project, which will be the cowl from Laura at Knit for Brains. That's going to be my Halloween one. I have not restarted it. You know, I had started it before, but I haven't restarted it. I have several projects that I started and I have not worked on because I just you know, going somewhere else right now, doing some other things. It is what it is. So, what else is going on? Dad had a visitor yesterday, and so I was busy most of the day doing other things with Dad. Dad and I and Mr. Fiber and my dad's, I mean, they consider my dad family. It is he is a man that I went to school with. And later on, while we were my dad was in the Air Force, we were stationed in Germany. And while we were in Germany, because I went to high school, my high school was the high school where Priscilla Presley was going to school when she met Elvis in West Germany. He was in the service, and they met there. And that's the high school I went to. It has been remodeled since then. It's not the same school at all. It's a completely new school. They took it down and redid the whole thing. They kept elements of the school. But he was my senior, and so most of my high school, while I was there for 3 years, the first year we were in the school at the same time, then the next 2 years he had already graduated. And then we came back to the States, so he was several different places with his family, and he wound up being in the power production field the same as my dad was. My dad retired from the Air Force in Wichita Falls, Texas, and he met Brian at some point along the way. I can't remember where they met, but I believe they were Dad wound up going and taking a job up in Colorado Springs, and that's where Brian was when they met at some point, and they wound up working together. And Dad spent Thanksgivings there and Christmases there, and they went to lunch once a week, and Brian was like a son to him, as well as being a really good friend. Brian helped me when I needed him there in Colorado Springs. His wife Patty was our mascot in Germany, so I knew her too, and they've been a really big help with my dad, and really good friends to my dad. Well, he was here yesterday. He drove in, he came in and he drove up, flew into Dallas, and then drove up here, and then we went to lunch. And it's funny because Brian told Dad, he said, I'm not driving all the way to Texas to have lunch with you. Well, he did. And I'm so glad he did. Dad was so glad to see him. Somebody from up there coming to see him just meant so much to him. And it was really, really a good visit. So that's what we did yesterday. Tomorrow, I have to go get my A1C checked. Right now, I don't have diabetes. However, I've got to keep an eye on it, and so we're going to do the A1C so we have a starting level somewhere of what's going on. And still chasing down the other stuff. I'm going to be having a procedure done on my back, and I'm going to tell you all this right now. It's going to be very expensive. I'm going to have to pay for it. Resource is going to take care of the testing, and they take care of a lot of stuff, but as far as it goes for this procedure, I have to pay out of pocket. So I am more than likely going to be putting together, I know several of you have been asking for me to put together some surprise bags of yarn. If you would like a surprise bag of yarn, I'm going to tell you my intention is for them to be $50 a bag, and that will include shipping. So if you can do $50 a bag for a bag of yarn, I will let you know when I have them put together. You can email me, FiberFloozieCrafts@gmail.com, and let me know you are interested. And all I need to know is wool or no wool, and then I can put together some bags. And I'm going to start doing that to offset the cost of having surgery, a surgical procedure on my back. Now, I'm not going to be having the pins, none of that kind of thing. All of this is where they go in, and they're going to basically do ablation, and they're going to work on, I have facet disease, and they have to figure out, right now we're going to do a first procedure, which is going to figure out if they will hit the right spot, and it won't be permanent at all. And then they will go in after that, and this procedure that they're going to do is going to last a year or more. And if that works, then they can go in and they can do a further one. But there will be no pins or fusion or anything like that. This is less invasive than that. So if you'd like to help, I'm not asking or begging for money. That is not what I'm doing. Please don't take it that way. All I'm saying is I've got a lot of yarn. I need to put some bags together and give myself some breathing room in here, and that would help offset my costs. So that's what I got going on for that. What else? And I'll do a separate video for that too, for the surprise bags. The next video I'm going to be doing, and I may do that today, is I'm going to do the kits that I was talking about, because this kit has been sitting back here behind me forever, and I have a whole bunch more kits back there, but I don't want to talk about those yet. The ones I'm talking about I have on my pegboard, and I want to pull. I'm going to flip you around here after a while and do a separate video and show you what I have on my pegboard, show you the kits that are over there, and then I'm going to put those kits I'm going to write them down on a piece of paper, and I'm going to put them in a jar, and I am going to pull those off out of the jar and do one of those, because I'm probably going to start that before the first of the year. It's something I had wanted to do this year and didn't get to, where I do one every month, because the ones that are over there are different types of crafts. Some of them are fiber related and some of them are not, but most of them are. And so I want to pull one off and you'll see when I get to it. We'll keep it as a surprise for now. All right. What else have I got going on? I will be popping up periodically. I do go to New Orleans in November. I will be there for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be leaving here, I believe it's on the 11th, which is Veterans Day. I'll be leaving that day, and I will be driving instead of flying, and I'm going to take 2 days to do it. So I'm going to take with me my Advent. Mr. Fiber is putting my Advent together. I gave him a bag of things and put it all in there. I ordered myself some goodies off of different places to be added in as little extra goodies to go in my little Advent bags, and he's going to put that together for me. So I won't know, but it's coming out of my stash. At the end of this month, I am going to be giving away an Advent, and that is in celebration of this being my Podiversary month. This is 6 years. At the end of this month, we're heading into my 7th year here on YouTube. And so all you have to do for that one is to put your comments in the chats when we are live or on all of the videos. So you can go back now. You have until the 31st of October to go back and put comments on all the videos that were posted in October. If the video does not have an October date, it won't be included in the giveaway. And then I will pull a name, and yes, it's worldwide. And I'm going to pull a name, and they will get, whoever that is, will get an Advent from me. It will be a 12-day, so you will start 12 days before Christmas, and then on Christmas Day you will get a full-size skein of yarn. This is a wool. This is superwash merino wool that you will be getting. So if that's something you cannot have, please don't expect to win unless you want to give it to somebody. Okay? Let's see, what else have I got going on? I still have the giveaway going on for Cheryl. That is Vixen Purple Crochet and More. I will leave her link and a link to my video for her where I am doing a giveaway for a surprise bag of yarn. I have my make-alongs that are going on, and I no longer have any. I need to sit down and go through. I don't remember what they are or any of that, other than on Friday night, which is our Stitch and Crime. I do a giveaway for that, and for each book that we are doing this month, it is Dead Ends. It's the Eileen Warnoss story. When we finish that book, I will be giving away a bag that was donated by Laura at Knit for Brains. It's the crime bag, and something extra in the bag. And I've already got that put together, ready to go. So when we finish that edition of the book, then I will pull a name from all the people who made comments on those videos and in the live chat. I do have memberships here. I noticed Mama Kayla was talking about that. There is an awful lot of people who are so negative about the memberships. I only use it to offset the cost of the shipping for all of those giveaways I just talked about. It does help. It helps to offset. So I have 2 levels. I do the best I can to give you a little something. I either put out some pictures or some videos, or I also try to do a live every month, once a month, for the members. So what else? I think that's about everything. Dad's doing pretty good. I'm a little concerned about his kidney function. He's had some trouble with his kidney function for some time. The VA is going to be sending him to see a nephrologist, and that is a kidney specialist. They look at renal function. He's had trouble with that for quite some time, and he's diabetic, and he's taking medications for the diabetes that can also deplete his renal function. So they're going to be doing that. Right now don't have any real diagnosis of anything or any answers as to why he's having trouble, other than those things I mentioned. So we'll see what happens with that. Other than that, we pretty well have everything under control for his health, and he's settled in, and it's hard to believe he's been here a year. This next month he'll be here a year. It's just hard to believe. So anyway, that's about all I got for y'all. I love y'all. My daughter Chelsea and her boys are doing fine. I did have to cancel my trip because Chelsea's having a procedure on her back, and they weren't able to do her procedure because of some things that were going on with her, but that's settled out and she's doing fine. There are no problems there. So they just pushed it back just a little bit, and so that's why I'm leaving in November on the 11th, and I should be back like the 2nd of December, and that's why I'm taking my Advent with me, because I want to do a video every day with my Advent and just give you a little, like a Vlogmas. I'm hoping to do a Vlogmas. Maybe not promising I'll get every day done, but I'm hoping to get it in there. My youngest daughter, as far as I know, she's doing fine. We are still at odds. She is still not calling or messaging me. As far as I know, she's doing fine. She was affected by Hurricane Helene, but as far as I know, she is back at work and she is okay. She blocked me on all of her social media, so there is no way for me to check up on her unless I were to call her father. And that's not something I am interested in doing right now. So, anyway, if you are watching, honey, I love you. And I love you, Oliver. I love you, Solomon. I love you, Chelsea. I love you, Carrie. I love you, Mr. Fiber. I love my Serbidoo and my Dukers and all my kitty cats. And I love my life out here. And Everything is going great. I'm ready for this cold weather. I hope you all are getting some nice weather where you are and you are staying well. Be sure and drink lots of water and keep yourselves well. We got a nice winter season coming, and we know what happens. All those viruses start, so be very careful and stay safe, y'all, and have fun today. And I always say that because we all have shit going on in our life. If we can have just a little fun each day, it helps. Okay? Y'all take care. I love y'all. Bye.